by the wonderful, very talented Clemente as we walk through quest number one of this beautiful Robotos Halloween Chronicles. The part one is saving Botsy. Botsy is a lovable robo pet. If you read the comic, you'll notice that they were transformed into a spider, and our goal is to try to figure out, how to save them. Clemente, GMT, what's up?
GM. Should we start with the comic real quick and go through that?
Yeah, we certainly can. Do you want me to open it up on mine?
Yes, I can do it on mine as well if we want. I already have it pulled up.
Well,
I have it pulled up and ready to go.
I got it. So let's start with the comic. So essentially, what we have here is a beautiful comic done by the Robotos team, and again, with the goal of telling the story of Susie and her beloved pet, Botsy, and how it all ended in disaster. So there's a bit of a thread here. So if you go to Robotos' Twitter account, you'll find everything that you need to do. So part one is this. What started as a normal day for Susie and her beloved Botsy ended in disaster. The sky suddenly turned dark and clouds rolled in. However, this was no ordinary storm. All of a sudden, lightning strikes. Right? Get in. No! Susie could not believe it. Had Botsy turned into a spider bot? Help Susie cure Botsy now and win a prize that might be useful later. And here's the beautiful art that is done. And this whole comic brings us, of course, to where we are today, the microverse. And if you use that link, you'll be able to be guided here to Susie's humble beginnings, and you'll be greeted by Susie's mom. How was that?
Yeah.
Was that a good recap?
Absolutely. Love the recap. Guys, if you are watching this, join us in the micros. We're completing, in case you're just tuning in, we're completing quest number one. To get the link, you can either go to our Discord in announcements or you go directly to our Twitter. I also have the link posted. It is going by you right now to go into the microverse. It's -Robotos, -Mileto Meadows, -Susie's home. And we will be completing this quest. It appears that Cave Guy has found a stray owl.
Yes, I have, Clemente, but that's not all. I've also found Susie's mom. And as you can see, there's sound effects, there's rain, there's trees, there's garbage cans, and so much more. And you can also notice, too, that if you look at my head, well, this is usually a Mileto. It certainly is not right now. All different capabilities that have been now added to Robopolis. I did lose sound. Can you still hear me?
I cannot hear your sound, no.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's start here. The fire is going. The wood is burning out. We must get here sooner than later. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to press E to talk to Susie's mom. Now, you'll notice she's crying, but she says, "What are you still doing here?" Now, this is not typical. I've already done the quest a couple of times, so obviously it recognizes that. So the dialogue is going to be different. It's going to allude to more of the storyline and allow you to really understand what the mission is. But as you can see, what are you still doing here? Well, she says, take the bus to Robopolis and find Dr. Bloom in the workshop. Now you could say, however, I'm lost, and it'll tell you that, hey, go to the woods, you'll find the place, but I know where I'm going. So what I'm going to do is exit to Robopolis by pressing E.
And it is loading.
It's loading, and here we are, the very spooky Robopolis, obviously upgraded for Halloween, and you have all these different funky things going on. You got Ron doing his thing. You got giant pumpkins, spooky music, bats, and so much more. But our goal is to find Mr. Bloom. So how do we do that? You have street signs. You have different options, or you can just be a pro and know exactly where you're going. So here's the workshop. I'd like to enter this workshop, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And now you're greeted here. Now you could talk to the Computos, and they might give you some information like, hey, welcome to Robotos Workshop, where RoboPets get their upgrades. Of course, following through the dialogue, you can do a couple of things. So how can we help? Well, one, I'm good. Bye. See you later. Or two, upgrades. I want upgrades. Let me see what that does. It says, sure, you can get superpowers, power replacements, and other programs. Well, that sounds great, but we're currently developing it, so show up again soon with the new update. So we will skip that for now. But as you can see, this lovable robo pet with their space gear on is at this little door here. So let's go in there and see what's happening. I wonder who will be in there. Oh my God, it's Dr. Bloom. This is exactly who we wanted to see. Well, before we talk to Dr. Bloom, there are a couple of things to notice. So you see over here, you have this little fox robo pet. And then over here, you have another one, obviously being the same RoboPet Fox, but he's wearing it. So how do you do that? Well, that's simple. I already have it, but if you go to it, you can actually collect these items and put them into your inventory, and you never know what you're going to be able to do with those. So for me, I have a giant head. So I was actually able to take this item, expand it, make it my own, so that I can wear it and look the way that I do. I can do things like this, move back and forth, jump up and down, and of course use shift to move even faster. These are day one stuff, but for those who are new, that's how you can do it. Okay. Where are you, Clemente? Where are you? Are you in here with me, or what are you doing?
I'm in Robotos right now. I'm still navigating my way around. I see someone else in that room with you. I need to catch up for sure.
So while he's catching up, I'm going to go press E. Dr. Bloom, hi there. I usually don't get any visitors in my lab. How can I help you? Of course, I'm going to respond. I'm Susie's friend. And Susie already told me everything about Botsy. This is actually Botsy. This is actually Dr. Bloom's dialogue. Susie already told me everything about Botsy. I'm still not sure what's going on. I'll tell you, it sounds very familiar. Oh, I just remembered something. When I was a little Bato, my grandpa read me this ancient tale about an invasion in Robotos. The villain of the tale was a large, pink, high-tech organism that had the form of a triangle, and his eyes were so red that even Miletto's hair seemed pale in comparison. Look at this. Little Miletto just rolled up as well. So they're going to be reading that in shock and awe in a second. If I remember correctly, there was a big battle during Halloween on the date of October 31st. Well, Clemente, that's coming up.
That's coming up.
By the way, just a little interjection. What are you going to be for Halloween?
I don't know yet. Still need to figure it out.
What was the weirdest thing you've ever been for Halloween?
I was one of those alien. I was an alien. So I was, you know, those things that pump you up into you get air pumping into, and you're a big fat alien. I was one of those.
I can only imagine. I dressed up my cat and dog as the Tiger King. Okay, so we're here again. Let's talk. Let's finish this. Oh, hi there. Okay, so I got to go back because I've already done this. Okay, just a little bots from grandma, really ancient tale, but the invasion of Robotos did that already. The tale was a large, pink, high-tech organism. Yes, sup to you. Okay. If I remember correctly, there was a big battle during Halloween on the date of 31st, to be exact. Okay. If you could find the book, we might find the solution to turn Botsy back to normal. Maybe the bookstore has a copy, he replies. You are so clever. Yes. Here, let me write down the name of the book. Thanks, Doc. And now I've received a piece of paper in my inventory, which I'll be leveraging later. And you see the little Mario sounds. How freaking cool is that?
So now we're going to the bookstore, it appears.
That's right, Bob.
All right. And if I know we have a few more people tuning in. We first started in Susie's home in Miletto Meadows. We talked to her mom. She said, hey, you should go to the scientific. You should go see Dr. Bloom and go see what he has to say. And he talked about how there is going to be a big invasion, or there was a big invasion in October 31st, and told us to go to the bookstore to learn more about the history of the last invasion in Robopolis.
Yes. And now you're going to notice there is a library, but there's also a bookstore. So the bookstore is where you want to go. So I'm going to enter here. I'm doing my thing. I noticed the little cat there. Oh, it's the Book Botto. Let's see what Book Botto has to say. Welcome to the bookstore. There ain't no party like a bookstore party. Oh, well, you could either tell you more, or I'm not in the moods, or I'm looking for this old book, which of course we are. Dr. DeBloom said that. So 1 second, let me check the inventory. Continue. Unfortunately, we don't have that book. In fact, the last one sold about 200 years ago. Oh, I see. Does this buyer, does it say who the buyer was? Yes, ... It was bought by someone named Dumbledore. Does it happen to say where they live? As a matter of fact, it does. It says he lived on the corner of Asimov Boulevard and Huxley Boulevard, which is located northwest part of Robopolis. Maybe you can check there. Okay, well, thank you. We got a little bit of alpha there, so let's exit the bookstore and figure out where that intersection is. Again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And of course, if you just arrived, you can go to the thread on the Robotos Twitter page and find a little bit more. But it's important to know while you're doing all of these things, just look at all the changes implemented for the season. Everything's been tailored for Halloween and looks super, super cool. And the music is obviously a nice touch as well. So
what
I think
was the stream name again? Oh, I see. Here we go.
There it is. Look at that. As a move, how would you say that?
As a muff, I don't know.
Well, there you go. But you can press shift to move a little bit faster if you'd like. But here it is. Look at what we found. A dug up grave. Let's see what's going on. Oh my God. I think we have to hear that again. 1 second here.
Oh God.
That looks like a book behind the skull. Move the skull away. And look what I found.
Ancient tale from a dug up grave.
And look what's on there. I wonder who that is. Who knows? Okay. Hey, this is the book Dr. Bloom was looking for. Amazing. So I wonder what I have to do now. And I imagine is return the book. So we're going to be zooming through Robopolis here again. When I've always trying to find a workshop, I just go down and then take some right turns and try to find it. I do struggle. I get lost sometimes. So
Roboto, coffee
case,
bottle.
there's the gym. Where could the workshop be? Okay. I've certainly went past it.
I see we are getting some more people here in Robopolis and in the YouTube stream. If you have not completed the quest yet, don't forget to check out the comic to start. Learn about the storyline that is developing for Susie and her robo pet that has been turned into a Spiderboto during a storm. We are starting to figure out who might be responsible for this, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it right now.
And we are getting back to it. We are back in the workshop. Dr. Bloom is ahead of me. We've acquired the book that he asked for. We found out that the person who owned it last had died 200 years ago. We went to their grave. We moved their head. We found the book. And now here we are back in the workshop. And let's see what Mr. Dr. Bloom has to say about that. Dr. Bloom. Oh, perfect. We found the book. Now let's see. Interesting. Okay, here's the part where robo pets are getting turned into robo spiders. This is actually the problem that we're facing in trying to solve and help Susie and Botsy. So let's see what happens here. But so far, nothing on how to turn them back. That is a bummer. Don't worry, I just need to read more of the book to see if there's anything that we can use to get Botsy back. But I'll need some more time alone to study. Come back at 18th of October. So come back on October 18th. Wow,
6
Doc.
days.
Yes, that is. It's coming up here. Wow, Doc, you sure are really a slow reader, but okay. And then I've been given the Halloween bronze medal. Of course, these things are going to your inventory. So certainly check out that. This looks like Mobac. Maybe. Okay, so we have that.
You have your Halloween medal.
Yeah, and you can click on your character, and this is where you can find the different items that you have. You can also favorite them, and so on. So this is where all your items are. So kind of what I was telling you before is you can equip these different things. Obviously, unequip things that you don't want, but this is what you're able to do. So it's kind of cool. And now look at this. Look how crazy that is. Who's
No,
messing with?
that's actually crazy.
But that concludes the first step. Again, this is a three-part. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that. I've been complimented on my medal. Um, so this is the first step. Tune in again. We're going to continue with the comic. We're going to continue with the storyline, storytelling NFTs. We were before the game, 200 years ago we were doing this the same time that guy who rented the book lived. That's how long we've been doing it. Okay. So tune in, stay on top of stuff. Wow. Look at that. I've been eclipsed. I almost hit a golf ball with that swing.
Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. Please be sure to do this quest. If you have any questions, you now have a video that you can refer to as we just went through this live. We're trying on all the costumes, we're sharing all the alpha, and be on the lookout. Cave, from what I've heard, those medals might have some sort of importance in the future. So if you are considering wanting to do the quest, be sure to check that out. You're not going to want to miss out on that medal.
Don't miss it. And thank you all for tuning in. This is, again, of course, the Robotos Halloween Chronicles, Saving Botsy Part 1. Stay tuned for Part 2 and 3. And thank you all for tuning in. This was great.